Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended, and you can see that we've had a little bit of time to play this game, basically a little over a week at this point, and a lot of changes have happened and all this stuff and blah 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 blah. Right, so I want to give you a video that's kind of unbiased and everything along those lines, and I'm going to give you 9 reasons that you should not buy Ark Survival Ascended. Now, if you don't mind, smash that like button, leave a comment below, and consider subbing to the channel. I'm starting to approach near 100K, and that's been my goal all along. So now immediately I say you shouldn't buy this game, and I sit here playing it, right? Now I want to kind of preface this ahead of time. Very simply, I love this game. I love this game. That's very specific to me. Certain people are going to love this game and love the things that it's about. However, if you're looking to get into it and you're kind of on the fence, right? Here is some things that you should keep in mind. 9 specific reasons why you shouldn't buy Ark Survival Ascended. I'm going to, and I'm going to love playing it, but you're not me. So let's give you some things, right? So the first thing, I have a 3090 Ti, right? Now that's not even the newest section of graphics cards inside the 40 series Ti's. In order to run this game on mostly epic settings, you can see there's still frame lag as I'm going through everything, and optimization certainly needs to be a thing, and you can kind of see me like glitch as I go faster and faster and things show up slowly. Things can be very, very heavy, and I still have a 3090 Ti, which can handle almost any game in the entire world. And yet with Ark Survival Ascended, because they did so much to it, now half the reason I love this game is because they did so much to it, but because they did that, it is very difficult to run this game on pretty settings. The graphics, even though they look pretty if you have a really expensive graphics card, not everyone has a $1,000 plus graphics card with a lot of stuff in it. So that's your first reason why you should consider not buying. Now, option number 2. If you like this game, or if you like Ark Survival Evolved, it is literally a reskin. I'm going to go and open up, like, there's some UI changes, don't get me wrong, but you can see the map is the same. The trees are the same. The dinosaurs are the same. The water, even though it looks prettier, is the same. There is no major overhauls inside of this entire game. It is quite literally a reskin of Ark Survival Evolved, right? Nothing special was added. There are some UI changes and there's some basic quality of life things, but it's not like it's an overhaul of the entire game. It's the same thing. The bosses are the same. Water, for the most part, even though there's slight changes to it, is identical, right? Nothing really different. So you're essentially just playing an updated version of Ark. Now, this is not a second game. That's why it's called Ark Survival Ascended and not Evolved. It is the same game with updates, but just a reskin. Now, the next reason, number 3, the reason that I think you should consider not buying this is Ark 2 supposedly, now I say supposedly, has a release date some point in 2024. My thought, probably towards the end of 2024, but still, nonetheless, it's in 2024. It is something that you should consider, because why would you spend money on this game when the long-term goal is just to release Ark 2 anyways? Now, some will argue that you should buy this game to support the development of Ark 2, and other people are going to say that it's a stupid idea, that you should not consider that as an option, right? It is a beautiful game, don't get me wrong. Again, like I said, if you have a 3090 Ti Plus, but for the most part, Ark 2 is going to come out next year, so you could just continue to play Ark Survival Evolved for the next year and a half maybe, in order to get your Ark fix. And the only benefit of Ark Survival Ascended is this. You can see it right here. Now everything's loading because I moved quickly, but again, what are you really supporting? Now, number 4, the lack of content early is a major problem for a lot of players. Some people love that you've gone back to this generic island build, right? Where you've literally got no access to any of the major things that people love about Ark, like gachas and different maps and clusters, things like that, right? You are literally going back to old school Ark. Now, though I personally love old school Ark, a lot of people really don't like it because you've got to grind things out. You have to grind out metal. You have to grind out polymer, pearls. Everything is back to square one, harvesting it from the wild. There is no easy features, right? There's no easy mode. You've got to go through this the hard way. And a lot of people don't necessarily like that. They kind of want to get their quick fix Ark in, and then they want to roll out. And that's, again, totally fine. It's up to you what you decide on that one. But a lot of lack of early content, because they removed cryopods and a bunch of other stuff, is really difficult to support for some people, knowing that this game has been out for 8 years and they've had time to perfect literally everything. They've only got one map. They've only got a few things on the map. And yes, it does look good. You can see that in front of me right now, but it's not necessarily perfect or flawless in any way, shape, or form. Now, the next thing is a major hot topic for a lot of people, and this is very, very fair, right? The biggest reason that people are really considering hating on Ark right now is because of the contract that was made for exclusive rights to have servers. All that means is there is only one company, Nitrado, that's authorized to have any servers. And of course, they've jacked the prices up as much as they can get because they're the only ones that are allowed to have it. Now, some people say, well, if you can be a large enough YouTuber, you can have your own servers. I barely fit that description. And that's a lot. Like, I mean, I'm not a small YouTuber by any means, but I'm not a big YouTuber either. It's not fair that only people of large size, YouTube-wise, or with enough money, can play this game. It essentially totally just destroys everything monopoly wise and pretty much isolates a big thing in the gaming world we try and avoid. So personally, if you're really against that kind of stuff, that's a big problem, because if you want to play on the unofficial networks or have your own server, it's pretty expensive now. It's not cheap in any way, shape, or form. So keep that in mind. Now, that being said, moving into official networks, my next reason, official networks are already broken. The reason I say that is because on day one, they forgot to fix a whole bunch of stuff that happened in the original Ark, and people were able to use God mode and spawn in infinite resources and do like crazy things. They had the ability to use admin commands inside of regular official Ark. Now, also because of that, there became this like same toxicity that they tried to remove from Ark Survival Evolved. They got pulled into Ark Survival Ascended. So you've got that same toxic kind of fan base that are always looking for corruptions and glitches and hacks, and they hold those to themselves. So it's not equal to everybody. It's only the few people that know about them, and then eventually people find out and they get deleted, but they don't really get undone. So official servers are already pretty heavily broken, and they are already destroyed based upon all kinds of stuff that I've heard. There are people that have like thousands of stuff because they were just spawning things in left and right, which is kind of not fun, right? Now, that's all great. Let's say you can get past everything I've said so far. My seventh reason that you want to consider this, or not something you want to buy, is Ark Survival Ascended, even though Ark Survival Evolved was released for the last 8 years, was released in early access mode. Essentially what that means is they don't necessarily owe anybody anything. This is an early access game, so you're supporting it just by playing it, right? By doing the things that you do just by playing this game, you are supporting what it's doing. Now, a lot of people don't like supporting early access games because of the fact they can do whatever they want. They don't necessarily owe you anything. If you release a full game that's not in early access mode, you essentially owe players certain aspects of a game. This being an early access mode is kind of a tipping point for quite a few people. And like, hey, you've had 8 years to perfect your game, and then you release essentially something that's a reskin, and it's just early access. That's kind of wild. A lot of people aren't big fans of that. Now, again, let's say you get past everything. Number 8. Now, if you haven't gotten past all of this and you're like, you know what, give me some more reasons. Optimization in this game is happening pretty much every day. Now, that makes a lot of people question, I am receiving many updates a day in order to make your game less broken. Now, a lot of people question, why didn't you test this, or why didn't you do this? And a lot of people forget the reason that they had to push their game so quickly is because a certain company, Snail Games, took a loan from somebody and had to release their game by the end of October. And if it didn't get released by October, a lot of money was owed to them. So they essentially had to release a game earlier than I'm sure the game devs wanted to release it, and a whole bunch of glitches were present inside of the game, which causes a lot of problems. That literally means that every single day for the first few months of this game, we're going to receive optimizations and stuff like that, which is great because you essentially go from what is a crappy game to a better game. Now, some people are not big fans of that. Release your game completed in the first place, some people say. So that's that. Now, my ninth and final reason is kind of wrapping all of this up, right? You get a beautiful Ark, right? I love this game. I'm going to play the crap out of Ark Survival Ascended, and I really do recommend it to most people. But some people are not big fans of what they're trying to do. Because essentially, you have taken a skin. It's like making, I don't know, it's like making a car like they do every single year, and then releasing almost the same car the next year and saying it's a new car, so you should pay an additional $5,000 for it, right? It's the same thing that Ark did. They took the exact same game, kind of reskinned it, kind of is the key word, a lot of glitches and everything like that they didn't even address, they just left in the game, and they just left it there. So there is nothing majorly new. No creatures have been released with this initial one, no major structures, no major gameplay styles, no major anything. There's no like even special mode or temporary protected PvP, any of that stuff. It's all just gone. Now, some people like that because they wanted an update. I'm one of those people. I love this game. I love Survival Evolved. I love that they came out with a reskin of it, and I was going to pay for it whether or not I made a single video. I love Ark, and that's what I'm going to continue to enjoy. But some people really don't like that. If you're going to charge me $50 for a game or $45 for a game, whatever it is at this point in time, you should produce me with a large amount of new stuff. There was not too much new. There were adjustments made, but there was no major dinos released. There was nothing. So why would anyone pay for something that's not new? That's my question to you, right? That's up to you to decide. And I say that at the end of this video. Now, I said all 9 of those things, right? Those are major reasons why people are not going to play this game. And it's sad. I say that because I love Ark. I think Ark is one of my favorite games of all time, if not my favorite game of all time. It lets you be somebody else into a character creation mode that you want to be, living in a world that's kind of cool to think about, daydream about even, you could say. I am personally in love with Ark Survival Ascended because I've always loved Ark Survival Evolved. All of those reasons are not a big problem for me because of my love for generic Ark in general, right? I love playing the game. I love the things that you can do in this game. I love all of the content that I get to use in this game, right? I love the fact that I can log on for 10 hours in one day and feel like I have done nothing. Now, let's be like half serious because that's not totally true. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you know, that's really cool that I can spend so much time and know so little. I like to be the stupidest person in the room, because if I'm not learning and I'm not being like taught things, or if I'm not like, how do I say this? If I'm learning, if I think I know everything, I think I'm an idiot. So this game is perfect for me because things change all the time. You learn new strategies, you learn new everything every second of the day. And that is why I play Ark, to enjoy all of those features. So personally, I think it's a great game. I do think you should buy it, but those are 9 reasons why you shouldn't. Let me know what you think in the comments below. That would be really appreciated. Again, if you don't mind, smash that like button, leave a comment below for the algorithm, and consider subbing to the channel. I am getting close to 100K, and that's been my goal all along. It costs you nothing. Just click that button. That would be awesome. All right. Teach.